New season, new regulations, new liveries. Welcome to 2026 season. I am Emre from the Rookie Reporters and today we'll be covering the livery launch season. In this video, we'll be going through every new livery of this season in the chronological order. So fasten your seatbelts, lights out, and away we go. The livery launch season began on 15th of January when Red Bull and Racing Bulls launched their liveries together. Red Bull opted for a lighter blue color on their car, reminding us their 2014 livery. Meanwhile, Racing Bulls made a very similar livery compared to last season, but added more blue and white wheel covers. Looking at the back of the cars, we can see the Ford symbol making its appearance due to their partnership with Red Bull Powertrains. However, what catches the eye the most is return of an old friend, the shark fins. Shark fin was a common design back in the late 2000s, early 2010s and was last seen in 2017. After 9 years of absence, it's back once again and can be seen in different forms in other liveries. You can also see that the rear wings are now made of 3 pieces, most likely due to the brand new active aero replacing DRS. Next up is Haas VF26. Compared to last season, this livery includes more white and red colors, with their partners Toyota Gazoo Racing making more and bigger appearance. Their sidepod is shaped deeper through the center and covered with more openings in addition to the inlet in front, which is most likely for cooling purposes. This design seems very alike to Ferrari's 2022 livery and makes me wonder if VF26 may turn out to be as fast but also unreliable as that Ferrari car. Another interesting detail on VF26 is at the front wing. When you look at the sides of it, you can see wing-like pieces attached to the wing side. Formula 1 once mentioned that this is the part open for aerodynamic innovations, and we can see one of its first examples on the Haas car. Then came Audi with R26 model, one of the newest members of the grid, rebranded from Sauber. They ditched the Kick Sauber neon green for their own grey, black and orange colors. Audi gave us a livery that looks identical to their concept one, only with sponsors added, which was kind of disappointing for some fans, but I believe it looks like a decent livery for a debuting team. However, while I'm making this content for you, Audi seems to be testing another sidepod design in Bahrain with a very different shape and a smaller front inlet. They were reportedly having reliability issues in Barcelona shakedown, so this might be their first attempt towards a solution. Another German giant following Audi into the livery launch season was Mercedes. Their W17 looks very similar to its predecessor, but with silver stripes added on the sidepod, which I think is representing their sponsor Adidas. And their sidepod kinda reminds us the V10 model, which was the dominant car in 2019. But despite their stunning livery, everyone's attention was drawn to Mercedes' fuel compression ratio of their engine, which will probably bring heated discussions in the upcoming months. Arguably, one of the most awaited liveries came by Ferrari. The prancing horses switched to a lighter red tone and added more white, especially around the cockpit. These additions looks like a throwback to their 1976 or 2016 models. However, the vintage look couldn't cool down the fans who still disliked the HP logo on the car. An eye-catching detail about SF26 is its serrated shark fin design, which is different than any other livery we have seen so far. Also, Ferrari finally made a long-awaited change on their suspension setup and switched from pull rod to push rod suspension. On the same day, Alpine also took the covers off of their A526. The Enstone team also opted for a similar design compared to last season and added a little bit more blue to it. But there were some interesting design choices on their front wing. If you look closely at it, you will see that the wing side flap bends inwards towards the nose shaft. Also on the side, we are seeing the wing-like piece attached to the side flap on the wing. Both of the designs are very unique amongst the grid. After a week of break due to the Barcelona shakedown, Williams have finally revealed themselves to public. FW48 has lighter tones of blue and more white on it. The poker chip-like wheel covers also add a little bit of purple, and I think it's a creative way to display their sponsors. But what's surprising is that we can't see any push or pull rod on the suspension. Please let me know in the comments if my eyes are deceiving me, so we can finally solve this zero rod concept mystery. 8th of February was the Super Bowl Sunday for most people, but F1 fans were waiting for the first ever Cadillac livery to be unveiled. The newest team of the grid came up with an extraordinary color scheme and make their car look like two merged into one, just like the late 90s Williams livery. One side looks like the early 2000s West McLaren and the other looks like Minardi, so if these two energies merge and become a midfield team, Cadillac may become the funniest story of the season. Nonetheless, I think the color transition is very beautiful. On the last day of the livery launch season, the reigning champions have finally showed up. MCL40 is basically their test livery painted with orange and looks very similar to last season. However, if McLaren taught us anything in the last few seasons, if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality works for them. Although they haven't changed much from their color scheme, we can see a few new details on the front wing. They seem to have a long nose, which reminds us the ugly nose designs at the beginning of the turbo hybrid era. Apart from that, there are also no extra attachments on the wing side other than usual, which makes me wonder if McLaren knows something that others don't. And at last, on the same day, Aston Martin also launched the AMR 26. This year's livery has a slightly lighter green base and also less lime green. The Aramco rear wing is fully blue this time instead of half green, half blue. There is also a lovely touch of British flag right at the nose section. This is Adrian Newey's first Aston Martin design, and it shows with some little details we haven't seen from others, like the little flaps attached to the side of cockpit, or the mirrors are also attached from the side pod. We'll see what more the Master of Aerodynamics brings on the track this season. And so we conclude the summary of livery launch season. Which one of the liveries is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Thanks for watching and see you next time.